Are you serious, guys? Are you serious? There's joy in the morning. Let me just say it right now. There's joy in the morning. Welcome, everybody. We have breaking news, of course. President Donald Trump has landed a ceasefire and what looks like the end of the war in Gaza and the Holy Land. And he's done it with incredible brilliancy and orchestrating, bringing everybody eventually to the table and really showing everybody why it's in their best interest to stop the Israel hatred, to stop the anti-Semitic agenda. I think the Middle Eastern countries get it. They know we're not playing. They know Israel's here to stay. They know the prophecies of the Bible have certainly come to pass. They can't argue that. And President Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize, but I don't think he will. Anyway, there's great joy. The hostages are coming home. And President Trump is going to the Middle East to sign this historic agreement. Let me tell you all about it in just a second. First, 30 seconds, a shout out right now for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. Gold has gone literally mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere, and the prices keep climbing. More Americans are turning to gold to protect their wealth. How do you take advantage of this? This is why, this is where Noble Gold Investment comes in. From rolling over your old 401k into a gold IRA or helping you purchase physical gold coins or gold bars and deliver them to your home or storing them in a secured vault. Guys, it's very simple, it's safe, it's stress-free. Simply do this. Click on that link below the video. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. Or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. You'll be glad that you did. And we are truly celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles without a question. They're dancing in the streets of Israel today. They're dancing in the streets in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, in kibbutzes all across the nation of Israel. There is celebration. There's a sigh of great relief over Gaza, over the people who live there in Gaza. They've realized the war is finally coming to an end, but at a great cost. A great cost. The attack, the Hamas Holocaust, the attack by Hamas and Islamic Jihad and Iran and the Houthis and Hezbollah and Syria and the Iraqi radical Shiites and the support of nations like Turkey and Qatar and really others that I could name that were supporting and backing this entire radical Islamic movement, including the greasy-haired kids in the front steps of Harvard and in different places throughout New York University and other institutions of higher learning, including professors who trashed and hated on Trump and Antifa and some of the radical paid protesters of George Soros. They all have to admit that they were defeated and that the truth is the gospel of Jesus Christ, the hope of glory, has succeeded. Let me just say it right now. Congratulations, President Donald Trump. And let me just throw out a couple more congratulations. Besides President Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and a special Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, and many others that were involved in the diplomatic process. And a great congratulations to all of you. A congratulations to you, Benjamin Netanyahu, who stood the test, who stood strong, who stood firm, who did what had to be done to save your nation and your people. Congratulations to the families of the hostages who are finally going to see their loved ones, the last of them, come home. And even congratulations to those of you who unfortunately lost your loved ones in this horrific massacre Your families will finally have peace as the bodies will be returned. Congratulations to you, President Trump. You deserve it. You're getting the respect and the accolades of all the nations around the world. And the United Nations, you didn't do one thing to help. You're like a bunch of hypocrites. You wouldn't lift a finger to solve this problem. And let me just say, I was right. When 12 years ago when I wrote the book, Jerusalem Jihad, that Tony Blair would be everywhere. And I even put him on the back cover of my book, knowing that he would play a part someday in what is going to be orchestrated in the next few months. Congratulations to all of you prayer warriors. Congratulations to the body of Christ who did not fall for the replacement theology, but stood in prayer, stood in the gap, fasted and prayed, and stood strong in the faith that the word of God would come true. Congratulations to, of course, the world, that for a moment we can all sit back, take a deep breath, and realize that for just a little bit, there is peace in the Middle East. Oh, it's a long way from being finished. And of course, there's still going to be a battle over those who on the left who still want to create a two-state solution, who still are going to push to part the land. But I got some inside information this morning from my folks that is not the plan. Trump's peace board, which is now he's calling the Peace Council, which he will be the chair, will be made up of representatives of every major Islamic nation in the region that surround Israel. It'll be made up of some Gazans and be made up of some Israelis. And as I've said, Tony Blair, he's everywhere. He's also going to be on the board. It's incredible, though. It is not a two-state solution. It is a rebuilding process of peace, a push to rebuild the Gaza Strip, the homes, the jobs, the opportunities for the Gazan people, and a security apparatus led by Israel and some type of also some other groups. There will be some kind of peace troops. I'm not sure what they're called, or I don't even think they're troops. Security group, along with the IDF, that will manage the security of Gaza. Gaza will remain the property of Israel. And the West Bank, you can forget about it. No two-state solution. Hamas has surrendered and will not be allowed to be in charge of Gaza. There will be this peace board, a peace council will take control. There's a lot of details to get worked out, and I'm sure that the enemies of Israel will try to sneak in, as always. And the Bible is always going to be fulfilled. You can't stop it. But if there was ever a movement now for the building of the third temple, it is now. You're going to see, as part of the compromise, to let these Arabs be on this peace council, the hardline, ultra-Orthodox Jews will push for the building of the third temple. And for those of you who study prophecy, you're going to watch it unfold right before your very eyes. Congratulations to me. My book, Trump versus the Beast, overnight, somehow went number one, new hot release on Amazon. It's went number one of new hot release. What do they call it? Let me just verify what they name it. It's number one. It went number one. Yeah. New release. Is that what it is? Give me a second. I'm going to just look here. If I can find it. I'm looking at everything but it. Okay, here we go. If you go to Amazon.com and type in there, Trump versus the Beast, you'll see Paul Begley, Troy Anderson's best-selling authors of Revelation 9:11, Trump versus the Beast is #1 new release on Amazon. It just happened overnight. I woke up this morning at 6:30 and I get a text that says, Trump versus the Beast just went #1. Guys, we don't even have a official cover for it yet. We're not done writing it yet. But thank God we're not done because, of course, unfortunately, the Charlie Kirk assassination and the ramifications of that will be a part of this book for sure, because that was part of the Beast. That's the Beast that killed Charlie Kirk. And also this peace deal, this celebration is going to be a part of the book, because the battle that Trump has had with the Beast, guys, during his first term, during the 4 years that he went through lawfare, lawsuits, slander, raids on his home in Mar-a-Lago, mugshots, $450 million being stolen from him by the courts of New York because of Lafayette James, Russia, which was false, another farce. Oh, I could go on. We could go on forever. The beast that he's been battling, not counting the beasts that hate America and hate Israel and hate the Western world and hate Christianity. Trump is still battling the beast. And that's why our book, Trump versus the Beast, just went #1 in a hot new release. As I said, we don't have the cover yet official. That's not the cover behind me. It'll be something different. I don't know what exactly. And I'm not done writing it. Troy and I are writing the book now. Matter of fact, we'll be on it again tomorrow. We'll spend most of tomorrow writing. And this, with joy, I'm able to put this portion of the story in. But there's a lot of things that are happening in prophecy. And so I just want to say congratulations to Troy Anderson, my co-author, because he is such a phenomenal journalist who was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, and also just a great gifted writer. I'm more the preacher. I'm more the visionary. I'm the one that, God gives the revelation to, and I do my best on the computer, but I send it to Troy. I get on the phone with him. We do conference calls with each other for an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. But it's him who puts it in can somehow take it and put it into words so well. I want to say congratulations to Troy. I want to say right now, congratulations also. I did it. My goal was to get down to 199. When you weighed 254 pounds, which I did, I have some embarrassing pictures of me that I don't even want to see again. But to get from 254, and I'm only 5'11", to 199. Oh, I still got a ways to go yet. But I want to say it happened today, which is amazing. I stepped on the scale this morning and I said, "Are you serious? We got peace in the Middle East." The book just went #1 hot new release, and I just hit my goal of 199 all overnight. How does that happen? I don't even know how this can all happen at once. And I'm feeling a little better with the oral surgery. I'm going to see my dentist, actually. I got to be there in 45 minutes. So I just wanted to break in. I'm even up early doing a broadcast before 8 o'clock. What is going on? Is this a bright new day? There's joy in the morning, okay? There's really joy, and you should see the singing and the dancing in the streets of Jerusalem right now and in Tel Aviv right now. The Knesset is going to vote at 5 p.m. Local time in Jerusalem to approve this deal that was agreed upon last night and early this morning. And also, President Trump is going to be getting on a plane. As I said yesterday, my insiders had told me it was going to happen. It was official, just which day he was going. And he's going to be there, I guess, either Sunday or Monday to sign the official peace ceasefire. And then, of course, the ultimate peace deal, which will be incorporated, I think, into the Abraham Accords. We're going to wait and see. And the establishment of the Peace Council, in which Trump will be the chair. all of that is going to happen over the next several months. But let the celebration begin. Someone just said Israel will be naming a brand new soccer stadium after President Trump. They did a poll this morning in Israel, and Trump's approval rating in Israel is 96%. It was at 90% before this announcement. 96%. But I did notice, I couldn't help it this morning. 6 o'clock this morning, I'm watching the coverage of this on Fox, and they're just literally celebrating. I said, I wonder what MSNBC is saying. I went over there, and they were talking about how bad Comey is being treated. And they had 6 people at the table, including Al Sharpton and several others. And they were all crying and whining because the Yankees got beat, and the Yankees got beat, and the former FBI director, James Comey, had to stand in court yesterday. And they were crying and crying. And I'm saying, when are they going to break the news about what's happened in the Middle East? When are they going to break the news? And I watched for 15 minutes, and I said, these guys are idiots. So I went to CNN to see what they were doing, and CNN was crying about Antifa, how bad they were being mistreated. So then I thought, well, surely Drudge, as bad as I can't stand Drudge, I thought, well, maybe Drudge at least will celebrate. They still had a picture of Illinois Governor Spitzer, I can't even still remember his name, and how that he was being defiant and wanting to go to war with Trump. Really? Well, he should pick up the phone and call Hamas and ask him, how's that working out for you? So Drudge couldn't even get in a celebration. But I just now checked Drudge just before we went on the air, and Drudge finally took Governor Pritzker's face off the top of their page, and they've got an Israeli woman literally in a shout of jubilation with the Israeli flag behind her, and the headline is, hostages are coming home, relief and caution. Yes, well, of course, there's a lot of things that have to slowly be worked out. But I can say to you guys, the information I'm getting is there's not going to be a parting of the land of Israel. Not now anyway. Don't worry. Tony Blair's not there just to comb his hair. Tony Blair's everywhere, and he's still pushing for a 2-state solution, and he has a seat. He will have a seat on the Peace Council. And you can know this, that the entire United Nations is going to keep pushing for a 2-state solution. And you can know this, that the American drama queens of the news media will relentlessly keep pushing. Now, I noticed I was looking for any kind of a celebration from AOC this morning. Is she happy? No, we haven't heard from her. Ilhan Amar, we still have not heard from her. Rashid Tlaib, we still haven't heard from her. Presley, we haven't heard from her. The squad is asleep right now. And I don't think there's any greasy head kids in the front steps of Harvard right now. So they're all still sleeping, hungover, or wasting their time with their studies at Harvard. And I just wonder how the professors of these left-wing leaning institutions, how they're going to spin the news today. Are they going to brag on Trump's peace through strength? I wonder. And if you're Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, are you taking notes? And if you're Vladimir Putin of Russia, are you taking notes? And if you're President Erdogan of Turkey, you got the memo. I'm just wondering how long will this celebration continue? This is why my book coming out next spring, Trump versus the Beast. This is insane. I don't know how a book that doesn't have a cover officially done or hasn't been fully written yet could go number one. hot new release on Amazon, but it did overnight. You know, and when I was on the phone with Newsmax, actually in a conference call with Newsmax 2 days ago with Troy and Newsmax, and they told me they launched it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Target, and just everywhere. I said, wait a minute. How could you launch it? We don't even have a cover for it yet. We're not done writing it yet. They said, we feel so good about this book that we are going to go ahead and start the pre-sales now. We'll put a cover on when we get it, and you'll finish writing it. You're in the middle of it, but we've got to put it out there. And the timing of that is incredible because, folks, let's face it, Trump is taking on the beast. He's battling the beast. And when we get done with this book, it is the sequel to Revelation 9:11. But I think it's going to help. It don't matter if you're a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, an atheist, a Buddhist, a Hindu, an alien from outer space. I don't care where you're from or who you are. And certainly if you're a Polyon, you're going to understand Bible prophecy like never before, because we're taking the current events that are happening in the world and relating them to the biblical prophecies, and not only showing you what's been happening and how that fits, but where it's going. I want you to be prepared. So here's what I would like to just request of you today as my wonderful followers and faithful partners of Paul Begley Prophecy. Let's celebrate the joy this morning with Israel. Let's celebrate the joy. This is the Feast of Tabernacles. And this Feast of Tabernacles, we have a lot to feast about and celebrate about. And so if you have never given an offering in your life, make it this week as we're in the Feast of Tabernacles, which, by the way, the Feast of Tabernacles runs through, Monday. Why don't you make an offering? Certainly know this: when you do, you're going to bring blessings on your family and on your finances, according to the scriptures of this fall feast. But you're also celebrating. Give an offering in celebration for the joy, for the peace in Israel. For the joy, celebrate with the families of the hostages whose family members are waiting now. And they are saying that the hostages and the bodies of the hostages are to be returned by Sunday or Monday. And that's why Trump is headed to Egypt by Sunday or Monday for the official signing. The families are about to be reunited. I don't know the condition of these remaining 20, 22. We don't know how many are still alive. God have mercy on them. And also have mercy on the families. And God have mercy on the families whose loved ones who have been killed, whose bodies finally get returned. They're going to be so happy that their bodies have returned so they can give them a proper burial and bring closure to this. But it's also bittersweet because their families, these are the families who paid the ultimate price. And I pray for the people of Gaza. There's Palestinian Christians that live there who are totally innocent. Palestinian Christians who are totally innocent, but are caught in the crosshairs of war. And I pray for every person that has suffered during this time. May there be joy in the morning. To give your Feast of Tabernacle offering, you can go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. Just go to paulbegleyprophecy.com, and you can give an offering and celebrate the joy and the peace in the land. And oh, by the way, they're going to announce the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. That's when they're. I know Trump wasn't chosen for tomorrow. Do you think they're putting the brakes on that? Are they taking the name off the prize? Or are they going to pass on by Trump who versus Trump versus the beast. You can also give your Feast of Tabernacle offering not only at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com, but you can pick up the phone this morning and call 765-414-2230. If the line is busy, just wait a few minutes, wait 5 minutes, call again. If it's busy, call again. But you can call in your offering over the phone and leave your celebration of joy with Israel and your prayer request for this great Feast of Tabernacles. And if you would like to text give, you can do that. Just text the word give to 765-722-2549. And if you'd like to put a check or money order in the mail today or tomorrow or this week to celebrate, send your Feast of Tabernacle offering in the mail. Send it to Indiana. And the address, all of this is in the description below. As a matter of fact, you can see the ticker going by. Send your check or money order with your prayer request for your Feast of Tabernacle offering to Paul Begley Prophecy. That's Paul Begley Prophecy 1048-B. That's 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway West. That's Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33. Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana. That's West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. And pray for our Israel Hall and Pastor A.C. Cordell. They're still in Jerusalem. They're going to get to see the joy in the streets firsthand. God bless them. I'm so glad they're there to see it. And let me just say this. Thank you guys as well. Celebrate with me and help push this book, not only to number one new release on Amazon this morning, which I don't know how this happened, but why not? Let's push it to be a number one bestseller at Amazon and maybe, just maybe, a number one bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list. Who knows? That would be incredible. But I want to thank all of you. You can pre-order the book right now if you want to go to Amazon.com. And soon I will set up at my website where you can do pre-orders for autographed copies of it, okay? And I'll ship to you if you want to do it that way. Anyway, right now, go to Amazon. You can pre-order the book and help drive the price. There will be an audiobook. Matter of fact, they've already told me. They said, Paul, as soon as you get done writing that book and get us the manuscripts, we're going to put you in a studio and have you read the book. And we're going to release the audiobook the same time with the hardback book and with Kindle. So they'll all three release at once. All right. Guys, I got to go to the dentist. But, pray for me that this infection in the jawbone heals and that I can get fully back to speed. God bless all of you. Sister Heidi and I love you. And you don't want to miss tonight's broadcast with Mike from around the world. I can tell you that. It's 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on the coming. Peace, joy in the nation of Israel and the Holy Land. Thank you, President Trump.